Okie dokie, little Grimlets. Welcome back to Let's Get On with Shadowrun, Episode 5. For those of you who like to skip around in episodes, you may have missed Episode 4. I introduced the fact that I'm doing post-commentary. If you'd like to know why, take a gander at Episode 4. Alright, everybody. Well, past Grimith is raging against the machine and performing more runs for Mr. Gunderson, I'm going to give you all some more information on the Matrix and Shadowrun, as my past self kind of rushed me a bit and I wasn't able to talk as much as I would have liked to. So I can do that now while I'm engaging in activities which are not as interesting to view. So let's start with nodes. You guys know the nodes like the system access node, the SPU, the sub-processing unit, the sub-processor unit, what have you, CPU, central processing unit, those types of things that you guys get to briefly see before I got my shit rocked. Nodes come in 4 flavors: blue, green, orange, and red. They give a general idea of how powerful the ice defending it is, as well as how powerful the overall system is. The SPU that I defeated before I took on the CPU was like an orange 4 or some shit. And that had me concerned whenever I was playing, because of the fact that it was right next to the sand. And, I had some doubts about, what the CPU, which is almost always the most powerful force in a system. I had my worries about what that would contain. As it turns out, my worries were well-founded, because it was a tar pit. So yeah, if you see any red nodes, for example, which is the most powerful, and you're not a competent decker, you should get the fuck out of the system. Blue nodes, on the other hand, are in the low-end systems and don't have ice to defend them at all. Now, I've mentioned ice several times, both in the last video and this one. For those of you who don't know, ICE is the informal name for Intrusion Countermeasures, known as IC. These are programs designed to thwart deckers. You can encounter a variety of ICE in this game, each with its own behavior and characteristics. Their power levels range from 1 to 7, although that number may be augmented by an alert. Passive alerts raise ICE power by 1, and active alerts raise ICE power by 2. So you may find yourself in the unfortunate circumstance of facing a red 9 black ice after a tar pit activated and devoured your attack program. Most ice in the game can be defeated by deception, that little Zorro mask or whatever the fuck that I was using to try to bypass nodes without fighting them. It's a non-risky method of getting to what you want. However, barriers, which are those spinning 3-pronged electrical circles that whenever I try to deceive them have like the syntax error pop up, those can't be deceived, and neither can black ice. So in the last video, while facing the CPU, I engaged a barrier, and after an attack failure, activated the tar pit. It's not like a resist or evade that's required. It's you outright like a critical failure. Like you're rolling to attack somebody in the Dungeons & Dragons system and you roll a 1. Fuck! You lose! Everything forever! Thus did I lose my attack level 3 program, meaning that I got screwed from making early money through the Matrix, because I had to retreat and I pretty much can't make another run at anything to try and download data to sell without an attack program. Pretty much 1/3 of the nodes you will find in the game are like barriers or guarded by black ice. Screwing around the Matrix is dangerous in the beginning of the game, even with someone competent like Phantom. That is why it behooves you to save the game before you go into the Matrix. As a matter of fact, if you have the opportunity to ever save a game, you should save the game a lot. However, as I can't technically die in Shadowrun, the worst I can do is fall unconscious, I'm not planning on saving and loading just to avoid an undesirable outcome. I'll play things solid and through. Although if I get an attack 9 program that gets chewed up by a tar pit, I may change my mind. Excuse me. Offhand, I believe cyberspace combat running in my emulator is actually what kept destroying my live commentary audio. It's silly. I could record Secrets of the Magic Crystal just fine, so your guess likely is fucking good as mine. Whatevs, folks. So now at this point, I am fuming. I really am fuming. I am pissed, and I believe I was considering spending karma on upgrading my negotiation skill, because I was thinking, I'm going to be a Gunderson for a while, aren't I? I'm going to have to raise enough money to buy fucking a high-level attack program, raise enough money to buy a better cyber deck. I was like, Rah! I was pissed. I wasn't saying any of that, though, because I didn't need to. I was muttering to myself under my breath and pretty much silently fuming while playing the game. It was bad. Fucking tar pit. I think the game advises you, and in general, the overall theme of the game is that black ice is the most powerful and most deadly that you will ever come across. Black ice's deadliness comes from the fact that instead of dealing damage to your virtual persona, it actually attacks the decker itself. And if it takes all of your health to 0, you're pretty much kicked out of the matrix and you fall unconscious. If you don't have a med kit or a stim patch or a way to heal yourself, you have a problem. But I disagree with that. Black ice can certainly be dangerous, it can certainly force you out of a system, but I would rather face that and be temporarily stymied than, say, face a tar pit and have one of my valuable programs, which could cost tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of new yen, permanently devoured from my cyber deck. What the fuck ever. Excuse me. So, yeah, I mean, so the particularly insidious combination you could face then is a black ice with a tar pit hiding behind it. As tar pits and tar paper, the lesser of the two evils, can hide behind everything except for, I think, trace ice and their cells. So a tar pit can't hide behind tar paper. But black ice, with a tar pit hiding behind it, most certainly possible. And as you have to defeat a black ice through non-deception methods, yeah. Now there are other programs in the game that you can use to bypass nodes. There are things that allow you to, like, rebound attacks, things that allow you to sleeve through a node without even engaging the ice at all. That's all a bunch of smoke and mirrors, though. I much prefer trusty standbys, attack and deception, with some rebound on the side. But you guys would see those programs like that later on in the game. Not right now. Matrix runs, though, or even just going into Matrix by yourself, is really a good way to get money quickly, particularly if you find valuable data stores containing valuable data that you can sell to a fixer in downtown Seattle. That is temporarily locked off to me, though, because don't have an attack program. I'll get one of those back eventually, folks. Rest assured, I will get one of those back, but not right now. Right now, I'm just grumbling along, moving through the Redmond Barrens, like, I hate myself. Why did I engage a tar pit? Why did I not try to fail with the medic program first? God damn it. I was really pissed about that. Now, I get this offer from Gunderson here. An offer to kill ghouls. 30 new yen each, up to 20 kills maximum. Allowing a maximum payoff of 600 new yen. And I'm so pissed, and I so am bloodshed at this moment, that I actually accept it. I'm like, fuck it. Let's do it. But before I do this, the first thing we need to do is change Phantom's weapon to make it more powerful. Getting rid of the Security 500 light pistol and replacing it with, I was just punching around there just to show you how it looked, replacing it with the Predator heavy pistol, the same one that Joshua has. A pretty damn good clip size, and it has far more power than the Security 100 light pistol. So, we're having it sold! I thought about buying armor here. Ghouls can do quite a bit of damage to you if they get in melee range, making that very dangerous, and a reason why you should not go in there in the beginning of the game, because you can get mauled by ghouls quite easily. I also buy some clips. You can carry a maximum of 20. Figure I'll load my guys up so they don't run out of ammo while facing ghouls. Couldn't really afford to buy armor for Joshua, so I was just hoping, I was just checking out accessories there. I wasn't expecting to be able to afford anything, but yeah. So I'm just crossing my fingers and thinking, You know, worst case, if this fucks up, I don't have that much money, so I won't lose that much money getting transported back to downtown Seattle. We will be good to go. Before I go in there, though, I decided that I'm going to use my final points of karma to upgrade some various abilities to help me survive better in the abandoned house filled with ghouls. First, gotta kill some weenies. Nom 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 weenies. Now, let's try this again. Yes, Stoker, you grumpy ass dwarf. So I'm thinking, okay, I don't have enough to upgrade firearms, which would improve all of my firearms. So I go to Phantom first. I like to upgrade willpower, which increases combat success, and body for Phantom, which will increase his resistance to blows. For Joshua, I decide to increase his intelligence, which improves attack speed and combat success. So I'm like, okay, we're good to go. Spend all my karma. Now we're back out into the Great Yonder, heading to the abandoned house. Music in there is quite spooky, children, and ghouls themselves look particularly insidious. By the way, more than ghouls can just spawn in these buildings. Some abandoned buildings are scripted to just be like light things. So you'll see some ghouls, you may see some gargoyles, which do not account as ghouls, I believe. Although I wasn't quite sure until I did this video. And vampires, yeah, I presume those are vampires. They look similar to Phantom. You'll see what I mean later. And then there are like diabolic buildings, which are pretty much like fucking wilderness abandoned houses. And you'll fucking get encounters like facing hellhounds or Wendigo. Hellhounds, by the way, do not fuck with hellhounds. Magical fire owns your soul. Corporations like to have them guard hellhounds as guards sometimes. You will see. So yeah, we can profit at most from 20 kills. I like to try and get 20 kills unless I'm forced by a situation where I need to flee quickly because I'm going to die. So 30 times 20 means a maximum profit of 600 new yen, I do believe, if I'm doing my mental math correctly. But we can certainly earn less than that. I will get 30 a pop. There's a gargoyle. You'll notice that, once again, combat slowdown occurs whenever you're near an enemy. Another fact that I don't believe I have noted, but which has certainly influenced the way I play this game. Whenever you are in a combat situation, you cannot use entrances or exits unless you escape from that combat situation. Like, to escape from the weenies, you can't duck into the jump house unless you're so far away from them that allows you to be the case. Similarly, whenever you're in an abandoned house facing ghouls, if you get overwhelmed and outmatched, you cannot bolt out of the exit. You have to deal with them first. There are a few, I think, bugs in that in which those circumstances aren't always true, but that's the norm, and it can get your ass killed. So Phantom, being on full offense, decides to go fucking play around with a party of ghouls while I was trying to back away to lure them out in a conga line. So I'm like, well, fuck, fine. Thankfully, the enemies tend not to attack your Shadowrunner NPCs with melee attacks. I'm not sure why the AI is scripted that way, but it certainly helps having somebody act as a cannon with free shots while Joshua's fucking running around. Whee! It is certainly entertaining. By the way, I do not recommend going into the ghoul house on your own unless you're quite powerful or you really want to risk it up. Have somebody with you. Fuck, even take Ricky along with you. The dwarf rat shaman from the Jackal's Lantern. Do something. Okay, that was 3 gargoyles I've killed thus far. 4 gargoyles I've killed thus far. And I killed a mess of ghouls. Spoiler warning, I actually don't get the full bounty from this. I either miscounted my way to 20, or gargoyles do not count. I wasn't sure of it at the time. I think vampires may count, though, but it's pretty ghoul specific. Whatever. I figure, fuck it, it's gonna appear in an abandoned building, I should be allowed to face it, right? Whatever. I still collect quite a bit of bounty from this. Perhaps I shouldn't have said that, remove some of the suspense and drama. Although I don't tell you how many medkits I needed to use, or how I barely escaped with my life. You'll see. At this point, I'm wondering, like, whether I'm going to get the full 20, because I'm starting to wonder, do gargoyles count? Because if they don't, then I need to subtract them from my current total, but I forgot how many gargoyles I killed, so it was hard for me to do. Damn. I guess the post-commentary narration, I could go back and edit out the spoilers thing! Oh, well. It's nice to have some form of success. That, I do believe, is a vampire. It's quicker compared to the ghouls. Thankfully, I have Phantom there. We're both armed with Predator heavy pistols, and Joshua's pretty competent at firing his. So is Phantom, so we were able to take him down. Coming in here without increasing your movement speed, or your attack speed, or any sort of speed, as a samurai can be deadly. Coming in here as a shaman at all can be deadly. And the Decker, although he's pretty quick, he has native a higher quickness than the samurai. I don't think his combat skills are that amazing. You'll notice that you have to walk around these places for a while before the enemies will spawn. That can be kind of irritating. I might not do that many abandoned house runs as a result of how much time they take to complete, despite paying off a considerable amount of money. Because, you know, they're not as interesting to see. There's no, like, NPC interaction. There's you just fucking running around trying to kill ghouls. Yeah. Like, die, 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 pew, 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 pew. I killed way more than 5 gargoyles. Son of a bitch. Well, vampires might not count then either. Then I killed more than 20 total enemies. Whatever. I didn't get my maximum bounty, that's what matters also. I decided to click somewhere with my mouse. I have a wireless mouse. I was just holding it in my hand while leaning over the laptop and speaking. Dum-de-dum-dum, running around, looking for enemies to pew-pew. Done pretty well thus far. I didn't get mobbed by a huge amount of ghouls all at once, which immediately surrounded me. I've been staying in wide open areas, in case you've noticed. Sticking to wide open areas helps you avoid getting surrounded and allows you to escape better and kite more easily. Dealt with those guys pretty well too. I think that's what I decided. Alright, let's go ahead and try to leave this one. We got this shit. Let's do this. Go! And then combat! I'm like, well, dick. This is not exactly the situation in which I wanted combat, but I'll engage it. Look at that. Look at how much Joshua's mental health just plummeted right there. Like, shit, get the fuck out! Go, 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 go! Hope you guys at home were counting how many enemies I killed, because, you know, I was busy talking. I didn't count how many enemies I killed either. I decided to heal Joshua with these weak first aid kits, and transfer him the ones with just one use left to sell. And then I decide that I should go ahead and transfer 2 others as well, just for Joshua to have and hold on to just in case. The reason for that being that this run counts as something that will kick Phantom out of the party. Ghoul Run is something that you have to go back to the Johnson to in order to get paid, which means it registers as a run, and since I hired Phantom on a 1-run basis, it'll count as his work being done, and he goes back to the frag grenade. You guys think about it overall, in terms of money spent going to hire Phantom, and then money I earned just for the run I used him on, it wasn't quite that high, but we earned a lot of things with Phantom along the way, like karma, and losing my attack program. Perhaps it was a net loss, but we'll have those memories together always. His attitude will improve towards me, which means I'll be able to get him back for cheaper. Which is what I'm going to be doing, rest assured. So with medkits sold, I don't know why I went into Stoker's Coffin Motel a little bit earlier ago, by the way. I made a snafu. I meant to go to the Ares Weapon Emporium to sell those medkits. So I head on over to Gunderson. I checked my money count there, 680, so I'm thinking, so if I get plus 600, I should have 1280 then. Right? That's how it should work, right? So Gunderson pays me, like, sweet! I'll talk to you later, chum. Right? Right. Prior run completed, you distribute percentages and thanks to your team. Don't mind the percentages thing, you've already paid them their percentages. Check my money, notice that it is not plus 600. It is, my current amount of New Yen there is 1,130. So I'm like, Clearly, gargoyles don't count, and now I'm thinking, presently, vampires don't count either. Either that or I just suck. Whatever. I'm thinking that's how it worked, though. So currently, I'm opening a program here. Going through my start menu, system thing, circling and searching for a program till I find the Quackulator. That wasn't really quacking at all. That was silly business. So 30 times 20 is 600. 600 plus 680 equals 1280. That minus that equals 150, and if you divide that by 30, you'd get 5. So I'm missing 5 ghoul kills. So I'm thinking, I don't think gargoyles count as ghouls. And I believe, although I may be mistaken, which I was preempting myself and typing there. I killed 5 gargoyles. Yeah. Good luck spinning this one, future post commentator. Dumbass. Zing! Even from the past, my words scathe me. Alright, folks. That takes care of this episode. We had some success. I slaked my bloodthirst, and that helped ease the pain in getting over the tar hit loss. I'll see you folks next time. Bye-bye now. Have a good night.